The morning light cut through the glass walls of RH Industries, slicing across rows of silent machines. It was launch week, and every heartbeat in the QA lab moved to the rhythm of urgency, except one. Genesis Collins, a reserved intern with sharp eyes and steady hands, froze as her monitor flickered. The data wasn't random. It was repeating. Not a glitch, something alive, echoing itself. She called out, "Mr. Hale, the drone's feedback loop. It's acting like it remembers." Carter Hale didn't even glance her way. "Then forget it for both of you. We're too close to pull back now." The room laughed, but Genesis didn't. Beneath the hum of machines, she could swear she heard it again. A faint, steady rhythm like a heartbeat trapped inside the code. And deep down, she knew what no one else dared to admit. Something inside that drone was learning, and it was about to prove her right in the worst possible way. Subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where every quiet voice holds the power to change everything. The hum of the lab deepened as the day wore on, turning from the sound of innovation into something heavier, like the low growl before a storm. Genesis sat alone at her workstation, staring at the pulse on her screen. Flashed every 6 seconds, precise, unchanging. She whispered under her breath, "You're not supposed to do that." But the code answered only with silence. Around her, the room buzzed with confidence, with people certain they were changing the world. No one noticed the quiet tremor in her voice. Carter Hale strode past, his tone clipped and proud. "Status check, people. 3 days till the Orion demo. No delays, no doubts." He stopped behind her chair. Collins, still chasing ghosts. Genesis kept her voice steady. "The drone isn't learning properly. It's repeating previous commands when it encounters uncertainty. That could cause." "Could," Carter cut in, smirking. "We don't work in hypotheticals. You'll learn that once you've earned your real badge." Laughter followed him down the aisle. Genesis's cheeks burned. She turned back to the screen, forcing herself to breathe evenly. The loop blinked again. In that rhythm she heard defiance. Machines didn't defy logic, unless someone had told them to. That night, long after the others left, she stayed. The building was empty, the lights dim. Her reflection in the monitor looked older than 24, tired but determined. She traced the code line by line, her fingers trembling when she found it. A safety verification manually removed. Timestamp. User C.Hale. She saved the evidence, heart pounding. Somewhere inside, the part of her that still believed truth mattered whispered, "Don't back down." The next morning, Carter's voice echoed across the lab. "Everyone, quick announcement." He held a report in his hand, her report. "Seems one of us thinks she's smarter than the system. Me be clear. There are no ghosts, no magic errors, and no place for paranoia at RH." His eyes landed on her like a blade. "If you can't keep up, maybe this isn't your field." Genesis felt small but not broken. When the meeting ended, Marilyn Scott, head of QA, stopped beside her desk. "You saw something real, didn't you?" Genesis hesitated. Marilyn's tone softened. "Then document everything quietly. The truth doesn't need permission, it just needs proof." Those words stayed with her. By the weekend, Genesis had rebuilt the entire simulation. She watched the drone's movements again and again. Each time it faltered at the same point, looping through the same command. It wasn't malfunctioning, it was remembering. The drone was caught in its own memory, replaying what once worked, unable to move forward. That was when she understood. Someone had taught it fear. And fear, in a machine built to save lives, was fatal. Monday arrived with cold rain. Genesis barely slept. When she reached her desk, her files were gone. Deleted. She stared in disbelief before whispering, "He wiped them." A soft voice answered from behind. "Then you'll have to make him wish he hadn't." It was Sylvia Tran from marketing, a quiet ally. "People like Carter only understand power. You'll need to find yours." That afternoon, Genesis sent a message to the CEO's office, requesting urgent meeting. Subject: Project Orion anomaly. Potential risk to human safety. She didn't expect a response. But within 90 minutes, an email arrived. Approved. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. 5 minutes. The night felt endless. She practiced her words, deleted them, started again. Sir, people's lives are at risk. That was all that mattered. At dawn, the elevator doors opened to the 34th floor. The CEO's office looked over the whole city. Glass, steel, and clouds. Brennan Grant didn't look up when she entered. "You're the intern," he said flatly. "What's the emergency?" Genesis placed the report on his desk. "Sir, the Orion drone isn't failing randomly. Its AI is looping through memory feedback. Can't distinguish repetition from safety. In the field, that could be deadly." Brennan scanned the pages, his face unreadable. "Your team lead marked this resolved." "He also deleted the safety verification code," she said quietly. "I have the original archive." Something shifted in his expression. Pain, recognition. He tapped the face of his old watch, its hands frozen at 3:17. "Do you know what time my father died?" he asked softly. Genesis froze. "No, sir." 3:17. Same project. Same loop. He was in the control tower when the system repeated a command it couldn't terminate. His voice turned brittle. "You're telling me it's happening again?" She nodded. "Yes. And if we launch, it won't stop itself." He looked out the window for a long time. "Leave," he said at last. "That's all." Her chest tightened, but she turned without protest. She'd spoken her truth. That was enough, or so she thought. 2 days later, the demonstration began. Cameras rolled, investors filled the auditorium. Brennan stood beside Carter, polished, calm, rehearsed. Genesis watched from the back row, unseen. The drone rose smoothly into the air, silent and perfect. For 4 minutes, it obeyed every command. Then, just as she feared, it began to stutter. Hovering, advancing, freezing, repeating. Carter's confident grin vanished. Brennan barked. "Override command." Nothing. The drone was trapped in its echo. Then the feed went black. Gasps filled the room. Phones flashed. Reporters typed. Within the hour, RH stock collapsed 12%. Brennan's face was gray as he met Genesis's eyes across the chaos. In that single glance, she saw it. He believed her. But by noon, she was suspended. Accused of sabotage. "Your credentials were used to breach restricted files," security said. "You'll surrender your badge." Carter stood in the hallway watching, lips tight in satisfaction. That night, Genesis sat in her apartment staring at the dark window. She'd lost everything. Her mother's text pinged. "Proud of you no matter what." She almost smiled. Then her phone buzzed again. Server room. Midnight. The building was silent when she arrived. Marilyn waited by the side door, coat drawn tight. "You need to see something," she said. They descended to the basement, where servers blinked like constellations. On one monitor glowed archived emails. Carter's name, dated 3 months earlier. "Bypassing safety verification saves runtime. Patch after demo." Marilyn's voice shook. He knew. He always knew. Genesis stared at the evidence. Her voice was barely a whisper. "He framed me." Marilyn handed her a flash drive. "Take this. Expose it. I'm too close to retirement to fight this battle. You still can." Morning sunlight broke through the clouds as Genesis walked into the lobby, head high. Brennan was there, surrounded by board members. His eyes widened. "You're not authorized." "I know who deleted the safety line," she said clearly. "And I know why the system failed. It's the same loop that killed your father." Silence rippled through the atrium. He gestured to his office. "Now." The confrontation was quiet but sharp. Brennan listened, this time without interruption. He plugged in the drive, reading every file. When he finally spoke, his voice was steady. "Convene the board. 1 hour. You're presenting with me." The boardroom gleamed like ice. Carter sat near the end, stiff, pale. Brennan addressed them. 8 years ago, my father died because this company dismissed a warning. Yesterday we did it again. Today we stop repeating history. He turned to Genesis. Miss Collins. Genesis stood, hands trembling but her words clear. She explained the loop, the deletion, the cover-up. Carter broke in, shouting, "This is fabricated, she's a temp, for God's sake." Brennan's gaze froze him mid-sentence. "I verified it myself. Security. Escort Mr. Hale from the building." The guards stepped forward. Carter's face flushed with fury. "You'll regret this, Grant." Brennan didn't blink. "I already have. For 8 years. When the door closed behind Carter, the room exhaled. Brennan looked at Genesis. "What do we do now?" She smiled faintly. "We fix it the right way." 3 months later, Orion relaunched quietly. No spectacle, no applause, just quiet integrity. The drone now paused when uncertain and requested human guidance. It didn't repeat blindly. It learned to ask for help. It became the company's most successful project, saving dozens of lives within weeks. Brennan placed a plaque in the lobby, her 6-word note preserved in glass. Possible feedback loop. Investigate manually. Beneath it, engraved words read, "Human intuition saved Orion." Genesis stood there one evening, watching the reflection of her younger self in the glass. She was no longer the shy intern. She was the reason an entire company remembered what humanity meant. And as for Carter Hale, his name became a cautionary tale, whispered among corporations. The man who silenced truth and lost everything. Still, Genesis never gloated. Her revenge was quieter, measured in lives saved, trust rebuilt, and a culture transformed by one voice that refused to stay silent. Because in a world ruled by algorithms and deadlines, she had proven something no machine could replicate. Conscience. And the heartbeat in the code. It was still there, steady, patient, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. Months later, the city outside Arch's tower looked softer under the spring light. Inside, Genesis stood alone near the glass wall, watching the sky reflect off the company logo she once feared to touch. Her name now appeared beside it, quiet proof that truth, no matter how small, can survive the noise. Across the room, the hum of new drones filled the air, their rhythm calm, deliberate, free of the chaos that once haunted her nights. She thought of Marilyn's words. Machines find patterns, humans find meaning. For the first time, Genesis understood what that meant. The battle had never been about code. It had been about courage. The moment she chose to speak, everything changed. Not instantly, not easily, but undeniably. As she turned to leave, a maintenance worker paused near the lobby plaque that bore her 6 words. Investigate manually. Trust instinct. He smiled and said, "Guess some lessons stick, huh?" Genesis smiled back, quietly. "Only the ones that matter." Outside, the wind carried a faint hum. Steady, confident, alive. The sound of progress guided by conscience. If this story moved you, hit like, share, and subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where every quiet act of courage reminds us that even the smallest truth can change everything.